Pedro Arias Dávila y Ortiz de Cota was a Spanish colonial administrator. He led the first great Spanish expedition in the New World. For the date of birth, refer to Aram, Bethany.Leyenda negra y leyendas doradas en la conquista de América, Pedrarias y Balboa, Madrid, Marcial Pons Historia, 2008. Family. Pedro Arias Dávila was born into one of the most influential aristocratic families of 15th-century Spain. He was the grandson of King Henriquez IV, a converso accountant General Diego Arias Dávila, who died in 1466, and Elvira González, who died in 1463. Diego and Elvira were the parents of 3 children. The 2 male offspring were Pedro, who died in 1476 while fighting took place in Madrid, and Juan, who later became Bishop of Segovia and died in Rome, Italy, in 1497. Diego and Elvira's 3rd child was Isabel, who died in 1472. Isabel's descendants lived continuously in Segovia and could be tracked afterwards in 16th-century Inquisition records and trials. Pedro, son of Diego and Elvira and father of Pedro Arias Dávila, married a woman from Toledo, Maria Ortiz de Cota. They had 9 children, who were Diego, Juan, Pedro, Alonso, a priest in Sepulveda. Juan married twice. 1 child from the first marriage who died young, no issue. 3 males and 1 female from the second marriage. Several issues from different women in some cases. Francisco, declared demented by the civil authorities. Anton, issue from 2 sons. Catalina, married the powerful royal accountant Pedro Gómez de Ciudad Real, parents of literary man and poet Álvaro González de Ciudad Real. Elvira, a Franciscan order nun. Early life. He married towards the end of 1485 an intimate friend of Queen Isabel I of Spain, Isabel de Bobadilla y Penalosa, deceased Madrid 1531, the daughter of Francisco de Bobadilla, deceased on the Atlantic Ocean, July 1502, when he come back Spain. The Armada afloat was surprised by hurricane, and 20 of 30 vessels was wrecked. Francisco Fernández de Bobadilla was governor since the 21st of May 1499, of the island La Española, now divided in 2 parts, Haiti and the Republic of Santo Domingo, and Maria, being the niece of powerful family of the Marchioness of Moya, province of Cuenca, and Marchioness of Penalosa, Beatriz Fernández de Bobadilla, deceased at Madrid on the 10th of September 1511, married to royal accountant from Cuenca, André de Cabrera, deceased also at Madrid, the 4th of October 1511. Some 3 weeks later, this couple, André de Cabrera and Beatriz Fernández de Bobadilla, gave the keys of the royal treasury at Segovia to Queen Isabel I of Castile and her husband, also a king, Ferdinand II of Aragon. During the civil war ensued from the death in strange circumstances, December 1474, of King of Castile, Henry IV of Castile, the half-brother of much younger and immediately self-promoted to Queen of Castile, Isabel I of Castile. By this marriage, Arias Dávila family carried the favors again of Queen Isabel I and King Ferdinand II. In view of the close friendship of the royal couple with the Cabrera and Bobadilla families, in spite of Pedro Arias Dávila paternal uncle, the Bishop of Segovia, Juan Arias Dávila, a.k.a. Juan Arias Dávila. Pedro Arias Dávila served as soldier in wars against Moors at Granada between 1486 and 1492, in Spain, and in North Africa, under Pedro Navarro intervening in the conquest of Oran, now in Algeria. At the age of nearly 70 years he was made commander in 1514 by King Ferdinand II of Aragon of the largest Spanish expedition hitherto sent to America. America. Instructions on court procedures against Vasco Núñez de Balboa, European discoverer of the Pacific Ocean, had been set up in Spain by King Ferdinand II of Aragon and probably also his mentally ill daughter Queen Juana I of Castile, the mother of, later, King Charles I of Spain, a.k.a. Holy Roman Emperor Charles V. These court procedures were issued to investigate the behavior of Vasco Núñez de Balboa against Martin Fernández de Enciso and Diego de Nicosia. They arrived there July 1514 and reached Santa Marta in Colombia. Thence Isabel de Bobadilla and her husband, 74-years-old Governor Pedro Arias Dávila, went to Darien, where the discoverer of the Pacific Ocean, Vasco Núñez de Balboa, governed. Pedrarias superseded him, promised him his daughter, known as Maria de Penalosa, to honor thus her female ancestors, something by no means uncommon between the high Spanish nobility at the time, in wedlock, but afterwards had him judicially murdered, January 1519, being thus potential bridegroom but never a son-in-law. This Maria de Penalosa, deceased at Ciudad de los Reyes the 25th of May 1573, and by then a widow, of frustrated marriage to Vasco Núñez de Balboa because of his execution, aged 44, on the 15th of January 1519. Maria remarried in 1524, Rodrigo de Contreras. They got 11 males, females as issue. Another of Pedrarias's daughters, known as Isabel Arias or Isabel de Bobadilla, to remember the female ancestors of the family, born when he was elderly, was married at Valladolid, Spain, 1537, to his loyal lieutenant, the successful conquistador at Florida and Mississippi, the governor of Cuba and ill-fated explorer Hernando de Soto. Previously, in 1519 he founded Panama City and moved his capital there in 1524, abandoning Darien. Dávila sent Gil González Dávila to explore northward. In 1524 he sent another expedition with Francisco Hernández de Córdoba, executed there in 1526 by the orders of Pedro Arias Dávila, by then aged over 85. The death of the new governor, a change of position decided in Spain, Lope de Sosa in 1520 before even landing and taking possession. The expeditions with military garrisons after from Panama and Nata, to reduce the disorders, promoted by Francisco Hernández de Córdoba, a.k.a. Francisco Fernández de Córdoba, the diversion from new governor of Castilla del Oro since 1526, now more or less Panama, Pedro de los Rios, getting a nomination for himself as a new governor of Nicaragua in 1527. Tell us about the utmost energy of the Spanish Converso family. Background: man, already approaching his 90s. It is worth noting that Maria Ortiz Cota, the mother of ruthless Governor Pedro Arias, was the daughter of Converso Toledo family member and royal treasurer Alonso Cota, deceased 1468, married to a certain Teresa Ortiz, the children being known however as Ortiz Cota at the Portuguese family style, whereby in Spanish succession style would have been known as Cota Ortiz, and in the rest of European countries as Cota only. There is no way, therefore, of understanding deeply any Spanish, including Mexico, Central and South America, or Portuguese, including Brazil, Guinea-Bissau, Angola and Mozambique, family roots extending today to many hundreds of millions. If you insist in examining them within the sights of other narrower cultural setups. Moreover, he was a party to the original agreement with Francisco Pizarro and Diego de Almagro which brought about the discovery of Peru, but withdrew for a small compensation, having lost confidence in the outcome. In the same year he was superseded as governor of Panama by Pedro de los Rios, and retired to Leon in Nicaragua, where he was named its new governor on July 1, 1527. Here he lived for the rest of his life until he died at the age of 91 on March 6, 1531. He left an unenviable record as a man of unreliable character, cruel, and unscrupulous. Through his foundation of Panama, however, he laid the basis for the discovery of South America's west coast and the subsequent conquest of Peru. Spanish bibliography. Álvarez Rubiano, Pablo. Pedro Arias Dávila. Contribución a la figura del Gran Justador, Gobernador de Castilla del Oro y Nicaragua. Madrid, 1944. Cantera Burgos, Francisco. Pedro Arias Dávila y Cota, Capitán General y Gobernador de Castilla del Oro y Nicaragua. Sus Antecedents Studios. Universidad de Madrid. Cátedra de Lengua Hebrea y Historia de los Studios. Madrid, 1971. Gitlitz, David M. Los Arias Dávila de Segovia, Entre la Iglesia y la Sinagoga, Baltimore, International Scholars Publications, 1996. Mena Garcia, Carmen. Pedro Arias Dávila o la Era de Dios, una historia olvidada. Publications de la Universidad de Sevilla, Sevilla, 1992. ISBN 8474058341. Mena Garcia, Carmen. Sevilla y las Flotas de Indias. La Gran Armada de Castilla del Oro, 1513–1514. Universidad de Sevilla, Fundación Cultural El Monte, Sevilla, 1998, Second edición, Sevilla, 1999, ISBN 8447204596. Mena Garcia, Carmen. Un línea de conversos en tierras americanas. Los testamentos de Pedro Arias Dávila, Gobernador de Castilla del Oro y Nicaragua. Leon, 2004, 202 pags.